Let's get started. I know that a lot of you have been commenting about the story, the building collapse near Miami. Search and rescue crews are still hard at work at the site, and at least 4 people have been confirmed dead. Another 159 are still missing. Video of the collapse shows the entire middle portion of the building collapsing, and then the far end of the building falling down as well. It all happened in the middle of the night as people slept. Security footage from inside one of the apartments shows debris falling from the ceiling. The building shakes before the camera goes black. Rescuers were able to pull out at least 35 people from the wreckage in the first few hours, including this young boy who was found in the rubble. Here's what one man, whose mother and grandmother are still missing, said about the disaster to the Today Show.
I think somebody should definitely pay for this. Unfortunately, it happened to my mom and my grandmother, but it happened to other families too.
Wow, I can't even, seeing the anguish in his face, right? All that matters really in life is your loved ones. That's all that matters. And I think we all collectively realized that this past year during the pandemic. So here we are escaping the pandemic, and then you have 159 families worried, sick, that they're never going to get to see their loved ones again. Erica, what did you think about what he said about somebody having to pay for this?
Well, yeah, someone's definitely responsible, but that doesn't bring anyone back. And, when someone's going through this much trauma, especially very early on, this man is in shock. So Absolutely. He's saying what is coming to mind for him. But at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot more ramifications of this. Like, this is just inexcusable for a building to collapse. I mean, it looks something reminiscent of 9/11. And Jeff, I don't know if you were still in Chicago at the time, but about 15, 20 years ago, when all those porches were collapsing, and it required everyone to make sure that buildings were up to code, as if that shouldn't be the first thing that we should be concerned about when a building is constructed. It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits. I didn't even think about that because I was thinking about the families right away when you see that, in very 9/11-esque. But there will be a lot of lawsuits. The materials that they use, cutting corners, the code people.
I would be out for blood. I really would. I can't imagine losing one of my children or a mom or any loved one or a friend because greed.
Yeah, I mean, well, Sam, the word infrastructure isn't just something that politicians throw around. It seems like we hear infrastructure bill, but people don't care about that. Right. People want to see the libs get owned. People want to go after the conservatives. And while we're fighting, our buildings are falling more and more into disrepair. Our bridges are falling more and more into disrepair. And what's more crucial to Jordan and your kids going on vacation while you stay here and work? Like an internet argument that Congress people are involved in, or the fact that this bridge hasn't been kept up to code in the last 60 years. This is what happens when we get distracted with nonsense. And I hope people realize, as like you said, Erica, that man that's in shock will realize that everything that we argue about is never the important stuff. And here we are. We have, I don't know how many people, but I think this is going to get really sad, and I hope we learn from this.
Heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. Our thoughts and our prayers are with every single one of those families that have been affected.